Hello and welcome to Premier League and to game week number 13 of the Premier League.
Liverpool are the champions for their people, with their people. Declan Rice, oh, it's a ripper. Marvellous, oh, that's magnificent.
The young guns of Chelsea claim the Champions League prize.
Newcastle will be playing Champions League football again. Now, 20 times the champions of England, Liverpool.
Arsenal have a 7-point gap at the top of a gap at the top of the Premier League. Find out, will anyone catch them? They play in a big game on this weekend. Find all that out and a lot more in the Premier League predictions. Let's go. Boys, if you want a discount on your energy, go and get my discount in the description. New Dan 10 at checkout. Peace. And we're starting off with a big game here between Brentford and Burnley now. At 3 o'clock, Burnley, struggled, played against Chelsea on the weekend, and they did lose by 2-0 against Chelsea, thanks to the goals from Pedro Neto and Enzo Fernandez. However, against the Brentford team, who did lose to Brighton, thanks to a Jack Hinchelwood goal in the 84th minute. And in this game, I think that Burnley will definitely struggle. Burnley will struggle, and I think that Brentford will come out on top. They're playing very well under Keith Andrews at the moment of a 2-0 win to Burnley. We now move to the game at 3 o'clock between Manchester City and Leeds United. Now, Leeds played in a crucial relegation in a bottom half 6-pointer, and they lost despite taking the lead against Nottingham Forest, and Man City breezed past Liverpool last time out, which, to be fair, no one saw coming. To be fair, nope. That is what, isn't it? Again, playing against Newcastle and losing to Newcastle, thanks to 2 goals from Harvey Barnes either side. But Ruben Diaz goal for Man City. We went back too far. And I think at Leeds against Man City, it could be very Man City. You should be definitely big favourites. 3-0 win to Man City. Going to the last 3 o'clock kickoff is in Tyneside for Sunderland versus AFC Bournemouth. Now, Sunderland played against Fulham, and they lost thanks to a Raul Jimenez 84th minute winning goal. And against a Bournemouth team who got smashed by Villa last time out, and they drew 2-0 to West Ham after being 2 goals behind to former player Callum Wilson. And I think it could be a game where it could be a very close game here. It could be end to end. Sunderland, as we know, are very good at home. And a 1-1 draw. We now go to the game at 5:30, which is in Merseyside for Everton versus Newcastle. Now, Everton played against Manchester United and won 1-0. After a very strange red card for Idris Gana Gueye, where he decided he wanted to slap Michael Keane, which I would not think is the best approach to that. Against a Newcastle team who did beat Manchester City last time out, as we know. I mean, it's at the Hill Dickinson Arena. I mean, to be fair, this game could be either way here, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 1-1 draw. We now go to the 8 o'clock one, and it is down here, when it's down in North London for Tottenham Hotspur versus Fulham. Now, after being embarrassed in the North London derby were Spurs, and then losing and then being embarrassed again against PSG in the Champions League, there are calls that Thomas Frank is not the man he once was. I think it's his first season in charge of a big club, and I think that, and obviously we mentioned Fulham, they beat Sunderland by a goal to nil, and I think that Spurs will get back to winning ways here with a 2-0 win to Tottenham Hotspur. We now go to the games on Sunday, and starting off at 12 o'clock for Crystal Palace versus Manchester United. Now, Palace played against Wolverhampton Wanderers which was Rob Edwards' first game in charge. We'll get on to Wolves and their game in a moment. However, Palace won 2-0 thanks to goals from Daniel Muniz and his first Premier League goal for Jeremy Pinto. And on the other hand, could not score against 10-man Everton. To be fair, we were missing Sesko and Cunha, because Cunha went against Indeed in a blooming Christmas light switch on, or about to. And I think that we should have enough quality away from home. We should edge it 2-1 to Manchester like that. They go to the games at 2:05, which is a very strange time to have kickoffs on a Sunday. Starting off with Aston Villa against Wolves. Now, Wolves, in Rob Edwards' first game in charge, lost 2-0 to Palace, like I just mentioned. To be fair, there was some depth. To be fair, they did show courage in that game against them. But Villa, as we know, Villa played against Leeds, and they won that game comfortably and easily with a 2-1 win. Thanks to 2 goals from Morgan Wood of the Lucas Lemaitre, put them in front. And in this game, I could see it being home crowd. Villa's attacking thing they play tonight in the Conference League, in the Europa League tonight, after I'm filming this. Home crowd, Villa will give them a 2-1 victory over. Then we now go to Nottingham Forest versus Brighton and Hove. Now, hold your horses. Nottingham Forest last season beat Liverpool at home. This season, they've done the same thing again. Forest have beaten Liverpool at home for the second time in the space of 12 months away from home. Goals spread all over the place, and against a Brighton team who came back to win with 2 late goals in 15 minutes against Brentford. And I think, to be fair, this game could go either way. I think Brighton win it by 2-1 to the Seagulls. And we now move to Liverpool and to West Ham. Liverpool have lost 9 out of 12 matches. When will this one end for Liverpool? They currently sit in the league. They sit 12th in the league, level on points with Tottenham, United, Everton, and Liverpool. Well, obviously themselves here, but they haven't had they've had an absolute torrid time. Liverpool. Losing 4-1 literally on Wednesday to PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League. However, West Ham have come on a bit of a vengeance recently, and I think it will be a tough game. Will Liverpool come back and win it? I don't know. 2-1 to Liverpool. Now, we now go to the top two in the Premier League for Chelsea versus Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. The top two in the league, separated by not many points. If Chelsea win this, they halve the gap. City are third with Aston Villa, who are literally Aston Villa about a couple games, like 10 games ago, 8 games ago, they're in the bottom half. They have just accelerated. They've played amazingly. They were back to the top two. 23 points, placed 29 points. This could be, if Arsenal win this, they beat Bayern as well in Champions League, it's just gone. They're top of Champions League and the Premier League. I mean, can anyone get in Arsenal's wet moment? And I think Chelsea might be able to. The 2-2 draw. Can Enzo Maresca pull off the unlikeliest of unlikeliest games? And can they get a result? And that will bring Game Week 13 to an end. I will see you on Monday for Game Week 14, because we're entering that time of the year where games come thick and fast. It's the month of December. You'll see this on Friday, but the next one you'll be seeing on December the 3rd, or something, I think it is. So yeah, as of December, the Christmas intro will be out. So yeah, this is the last video in November with the old intro until we get in the intro for Christmas month. But I'll see you all for Game Week 14 in a short moment. But for now, I'll leave you with, can anyone catch Arsenal at the top of the league? Will Chelsea do that? Find that out and a lot more on Monday. Goodbye for now.